Brawl Brothers. So anyway, for those of you that know, this is also another one of my first 3 games I learned to speedrun. We're going to be playing on easy difficulty for both of these runs, and that's because if we were playing on hard or normal, not only will we have to deal with more enemies, but they also get more health, so we do not want that. I know they prefer very hard difficulty, but I'd rather not take my chances, obviously. Alright, this should work. I think. Alright, so that should be perfect anyway. So we do have easy mode applied. And I did set up my special to X for easier access. Last time I actually did that with X button for attack and Y button for special. So hopefully I won't have any problems. So we're going to do a slash only run. And we're going to start our timer right after we select our characters. So, again, I want to mention that when you select your characters, it really affects the routing for your run. So basically, when you select your first character, that character is removed from the boss lineup for the first 3 stages. The next one we select is going to be the other character that gets removed. So whoever we don't select from out of these 4, they get put in as bosses. So we're going to pick Wendy because her clone fight is probably the most difficult out of the bunch. Though Slash and Lord J have some pretty difficult ones to deal with. And this is pretty much more easier for me. Anyway, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So anyway, this is Brawl Brothers. This was released around either 1992 or 1993. This is actually one of the more popular games from the Russian Beats series, believe it or not. This is also the final game where Douglas Build, aka Slash, as he's named in this game, makes his appearance as a playable character. So once we go to Shura, we're going to probably not see him as a playable character. Unfortunately, we got off to a bad start here, but let's just that happens. Man, that rock just missed. So anyway, we're going to take out these enemies. They're pretty easy to beat. Now, we do have to be very precise on our special activation. Slash and Rick are the only 2 characters that, I should say Douglas and Rick are the only ones with actual have other specials pretty much here. And believe it or not, the backdrop is actually a pretty darn good defensive move overall. Power Bomb is probably the next powerful move outside of Flame Breath. I don't know what's going on here, but I had a more easier time setting up the attack button than the next. But one of the reasons why we're playing as Slash, if you haven't seen me do the other runs, is the fact that thanks to that, we have the ability to hit enemies on the ground with a dash attack. So that is pretty generous there. So anyway, we're going to make our move all the way over here. And we're going to take out the 0. Now, believe it or not, you can cancel the healing with activating your special. That's technically not a wise idea. Of course, we do want to maximize anger mode whenever we get a chance. Yeah, we also want to use Slash's jump attacks as well. Let's just say his normals are terrible in this game, unlike the first game. Fortunately, I didn't get the knockdown. Nice. Believe it or not, you can alter your direction when you're dashing too. Yeah, you definitely want to be off the ground when you when that bridge gets blown up, because otherwise you'll get shot and lose energy. So we're gonna blast these guys with Flame Breath and then knock them down with the dash move. The dash boot's probably the most reliable attack you get in the entire game with Slash. Otherwise, Slash would probably have a difficult time just getting through most of it. Now, there is a possibility of breaking out back throws, but the opportunity is pretty rare. That's actually executable during versus mode for this game, but I have seen it happen a few times, but it doesn't always work. Anyway, we'll take out these guys right here and finish off this bunch coming up. Now, you do have to be careful if you're blasting enemies in the water, because water will move them out of the way. And that makes it a little bit more hard. But we're going to go up here, and then we're going to be going right down here. We'll wait for this guy right here. And then blast them with Flame Breath. The knife damage is pretty weird. I did see Noble Boy use that in his World Record run, but the problem is it's just very difficult to pull it off, obviously. Now, believe it or not, some of these enemies are actually homages to Slasher from the first game, believe it or not. This also happens again in Shura as well. And believe it or not, when you use items, you can make yourself invincible from enemy attacks. So if you're not comfortable about trying your luck, you can always do that. But yeah, enemies in this game can be either downright aggressive or plain annoying. Whoa, that's a first! And here I thought I've seen everything in this game. Good grief. But yeah, the back throw is arguably Slash's best defense, obviously, against most opponents that try to get behind him and whatnot. But anyway, that takes care of that whole bunch. Now we're going directly to the first boss of the game for this route, being Kazan. Clone Kazan is actually pretty easy to defeat once you figure out how to deal with him. And thanks to Noble Boy 77, he found a faster strat of doing a 3-cycle phase against Kazan. So we're going to prioritize a jump attack, and do a back throw, and Flame Breath him, and we're going to do the same thing on the final one, if we're lucky enough. Now, the clone bosses can reverse your throws. So thankfully we got very lucky here and got the 3-cycle. It is not very easy to do if you get too distracted trying to deal with Kazan's speed there. And sometimes wherever he lands also determines just how things go. Oh, welcome, Nightmare James. Welcome. Yo, yo, yo to yourself as well. Anyway, we beat Kazan, and now we're going on to stage 2. We're gonna be doing Slash easy 80% mode with this character, so we'll be using the character throughout the entire run. This is also going to be submitted to AGDQ 2024 for next year. So if the run gets accepted by this. We're going to have some fun at least. Hope your days went well, James. So sorry if I don't pay attention to the chat box and chat room and all that, but I will try to keep track of it. I really do need to focus on the commentary. But anyway, thank you for stopping by, though. I hope your search for Pokemon has been pretty useful. Anyway, so we're on the Jungle Gym, and the enemies are going to get tougher here. And luckily these guys were pretty easy to deal with. Gotta love that overpowered boot. Man, that should not have registered there. But at least I got a triple wipeout there. Come on. Over here, pal. Yeah, believe it or not, you can actually do OTG attacks on enemies. They do almost roughly the same amount of damage as your Flame Breath and Power Bomb. But it requires a specific setup, obviously. But it's definitely well worth using if you can master the mechanics for it. So yeah, that was the OTG attack that we just did. Anyway, we just wiped out that whole bunch, and now we're going up to these 2 lead heads. Some enemies do get higher priority over your character's attacks or moves, so you do want to be careful when dealing with them. And of course, the back throw is pretty good because you can literally just set enemies up to get hit by them, and it's got a very long hitbox, pretty much. So we're gonna make it to this lift, grab this first aid kit, so we get another chance of anger mode a little bit later, and then we're gonna attack every enemy that comes right down here. We'll position our character right there so we can intercept every last one of them. So anyway, there is a small break after you eliminate a certain amount, so we'll rest our hands for a bit. This would be a good time for donations if we had this was done during a run. Now, ironically enough, this game in Japanese is called Russian Beat Ron. I think it's called Fushi Toshi, I think it's called. I could be wrong. You'll have to forgive me. My ability to say names is pretty poor. Alright, so once you eliminate all the zeros, just position your character right here, and some of these Fenords will jump straight into the, jump straight off. So yeah, we're waiting for more of these guys to come down. You can see the city in the distance. Alright, that eliminates all the enemies. So we do not want to be at the edge when we clear this part. Once we move into the next screen, we're going to be dealing with 2 of the gunners. We're going to move back a bit so we can set them up. You don't need to pick up the first aid kit, but you can bring it over to another screen if you so wish. Come on. There we go. All 3 went down at once. Pretty good. Yeah, if your character is too close to the end of the screen, you might want to move back a bit and do the rushing boot there. So we're going to ignore this enemy and just blast this 0 right here. Then there's a fan that comes right after that one. So once you get past these guys, we're going to be dealing with the bombers and this leadhead right here. The leadhead gets high priority in grabbing, so you want to defeat them pretty quickly. Alright, so once we get past here, all we have to do is fight the enemies that are near the copter. That was not what I meant to do, I might add. I meant to go for the special. You can move back and right as you do this. That'll extend the hitbox. Pretty useful if you don't want to get hit. Unfortunately, I grabbed an enemy, so that really screwed up my plans, but hey, mistakes happen. Alright, so we're coming up against Hack. I did discover a new trick a while back that requires us to grab him, and then we're going to use Flame Breath. And just hopefully grab him again. Hopefully we can use the zombie method here so that he doesn't go for his fireballs and pop and dive punches. Now, of course, Slash is not very fast, but overall this trick actually works pretty darn well. As long as he doesn't attack you. So, the mistake I made there was that it wasn't moving diagonally. You want to move diagonally. You don't really need any dashing involved for that. But it does work. It does work. So anyway, now that we've beaten Hack, we're going to be moving on to Stage 3. Normally I would switch to Hack because we would take advantage of the pits on this stage, but since we're doing a Slash-only run, we're going to be doing things a little bit different than what we normally do on the routing. Dang it, I'm getting grabbed by these enemies. Ah, he threw me into the pit. Well, that's fine. We're going to probably need to take a life loss eventually. So we're off to a bad start with Slash here. We don't want to be overshooting ourselves, of course. Now, since Slash can't jump, we're going to jump right into there and force all the enemies into falling into this pit. If we're lucky enough. There we go. Alright, so that takes care of them. That's one way to put them in position. Of course, Slash can't throw enemies like most of the characters do, unfortunately. Alright, that gets rid of them. So we're going to have to rely on very heavy grouping here, unfortunately. Since we normally use pit strats for this part anyway. Let's just hope we can lure these guys down. We'll put him in position right here. And roast this guy. Pick up those pancakes and eat them. And let's be on our merry way. About time my angry mode kicked in. Yeah, thanks to the long hitbox for this one, we can literally just have some extra delay there. So we're activating the OTG right there. Each character has a different activation for it, of course. Butch here. Ooh, he went down. Very good. Wasn't expecting that, though. I'll gladly take that, though. Alright, let's get these guys to jump to their devices. Yeah, believe it or not, some years ago I had Slash perform a backdrop that threw his opponent all the way across the screen. It was ridiculous. Sadly, I'm probably like the only speedrunner left from 2014 that's still actively running and everything. Fortunately, everyone's pretty busy with their lives, and that's not bad either. So I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming, but eventually, I would like to maximize my opportunities, if possible, so to see how far I can go, because I've been struggling all these years to find some means of performing, showcasing my talents with gaming, and I want to do it in some form. Ooh, double bounce on that that lead head there. We'll go ahead and pick up this health item. Yeah, sometimes these enemies are pretty tricky to fight overall. Yeah, his chain attack is not very reliable, unfortunately. So once you get past these guys, we're gonna go jumping right in here, and we're gonna be making our way over here. So we got a lot of zeros coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and refill on life so we can get some more opportunities for angry mode a little bit later. So normally, this stage would have a massive maze going down, up and down elevators, but thanks to Barricade 9, we now have a more guaranteed method of cutting down the time that would normally be very, very long. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, no jump kicks allowed. Okay, I don't know how I pulled that one off, but I'll gladly take that. Grab that first aid kit. Let's just hope I get all of them at once. Only one of them went down, but voila! Anyway, actually this area is pretty difficult to get through normally, but thanks to Barricade, that's now been cut down pretty significantly. Normally this would have been around 40 to 50 minutes overall. For the game time at least, for this run. But thanks to him, our time is now significantly less than what we would normally do. It's also thanks to others like Josh the Funk Doc and Nobleboy77, who also discovered other things on this game as well. Things that I've never considered. Alright, that takes care of Cyberhead. So the solution for this maze is that we're going to go 1 floor down, 2 floors up, then 2 floors down. So normally we would go through these floors where there's tons of enemies to fight. And some of them are pretty difficult to get through, obviously. So thanks to Barricade, we don't have to worry about having to go through all that problems and all that there. So that eventually saves us 2 hallways of fighting, pretty much, in general. So we're on this last one right here that we would normally not see until a little bit later. Ooh, double damage. Let's go. Dang it. Give me the tonics are up there. Yeah, some of these enemies just get high priority on grabbing you regardless. It's not like I don't want to be grabbed, but they just grab you out of nowhere and get whatever action they want on you. So we're going up against these hecklers, or they're also called Flins as well. Don't know why Chalco decided to make it make them pretty much weird names for the international releases, but it is as it is. But yeah, most of the enemies in the Japanese version are given are technically given numeral numbers instead. I think the wrestlers are given the name Butch from one of the recurring enemies from Rival Turf / Russian Beat. Alright, so we're moving on up. After this, we get to pretty much go down 2 more floors. The next floor is only 1 more enemy to deal with. And then the next floor we go down after that, we'll be on our way to the end of the stage. So yeah, you can break your own throw by jumping. That's pretty good if you don't want to set up throws you don't want. It also gives you some temporal invincibility as well. So you can take full advantage of that and avoid getting hit if you're lucky. You have to see how well it really gets used, but if you don't like the position you're in, you can always use the jump button, and you can basically just avoid getting into a whole lot of trouble there. Normally I'd do the dashing, but... yeah, no grenades allowed, pal. And no drop kicks. Anyway, so that ship you see right there is the main antagonist, Flying Fortress, as it's called. But yeah, these enemies get very high priority here, but they don't have a whole lot of health, so that's a blessing in disguise, actually. So anyway, this is the final part. All we have to do now is just beat these enemies, and then we'll be on our way to fighting Lord J's clone, who will be the last of the lineup thanks to our selection. Ooh, we got the sit-down bomb. How in the world did he not get hit there? And I meant to do the dashing and it didn't work. Alright, so that was good. We got past that part, so this is going to be a difficult one here. Alright, so Lord J is actually a pretty difficult fight, pretty much. Especially with Slash. So we're going to try to set him up here. So luckily, Slash has his own means to deal with enemies, pretty much. I think I might have found a new strat for this guy, actually. Gonna turn around and force him to come after us. And that's it! Oh, welcome, Vance fellas! Yeah, don't worry, those guides are there for you to use. And for anyone that wants to speedrun this game. So anyway, we just now found a new strat to fight Lord J with Slash here. So anyway, now that we've gotten past Lord J and got him back on our team, we're going to be taking on Adler. The Adler, aka the airship that we just saw. And we're going to be fighting our way all the way into where Dieter's hiding. His actual name in Japan is Iceman. Now, we do have to deal with the lead head here because he's got the very long vitality bar. So, as you can definitely tell, we're using the dash attack and the flame breath to maximum velocity here in this run. You can also use the neutral attack to do something there, and without sending out a big attack, that is. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not very good at doing commentary. Hopefully, if any of my runs get accepted, I will ask for help in those regards. Anyway, once we get past the hecklers, we'll move over here. Now, there is a way to break out back throws, but I have yet to find out what triggers it. The instruction manual says it's the attack button, but I don't think it's that's the case. Normally, the ability to break throws is only exclusive to Versus mode, but I have discovered you can do it during normal gameplay as well. Unfortunately, Heckler's out of screen, so we won't be able to finish this attack. Oh, he grabbed me. He normally goes for the elbow drop there. Yeah, normally this butch right here usually sets up a pretty nasty elbow drop, pretty much. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have to continue here. Alright, we got rid of both of those enemies, that's good. And we do have to watch out for this lead head. I think this guy has high priority on grabbing. Or going for that attack, obviously. And you stay down, Flynn. Anyway, this part right here has to deal with the obnoxious wrestlers. They have very different moves. Do quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, these guys get very high health in this area of the game. Unfortunately. So, believe it or not, I discovered you can actually walk up to a grounded enemy while in angry mode and do like 3 power bombs on one enemy. Not exactly the best strat in the entire world, but very high damaging. Normally, you can also set up your hyper throws outside of angry mode, but they require specific button presses, and they're not very easy to pull off, I might add. So we're going to position our character right here, and then once we get the warning to go, we're told to go, we can go straight into that hatch without having to move around to get access to it. Now we're inside the ship, so we're going to be fighting our way all the way to Dyer now. We'll use that first aid kit for one thing, and set up this, set up a free hit there. So yeah, the whole plot of Brawl Brothers involves creating Dyer kidnapping Rick and Douglas's recruits for their new gym, and he plans to create a clone army out of all of them, similar to how the clone army for Star Wars is, but with whoa, we just pulled out, we just reversed. Someone clip that. That's the first time we actually reversed out of a throw. There is proof you can literally break out four throws, but I still don't know how to do it. Man, that is crazy. That is not very easy to do. Now, all enemies that drop from the ceiling will be more weaker than the ones that come from the left. Yeah, believe it or not, your jump attacks actually do a pretty decent amount of damage. No, that's alright. If no one gets to clip that, I can clip that after the stream's over. But man, that was incredible, though. I rarely get to break out 4 throws like that. So we're going to try to group these guys together. Ooh, we actually got them all. That normally never happens either. Okay, how did the shooter not get hit there? Please position yourselves correctly. Alright, so this next part is going to probably be the longest one here, unfortunately. Not only do we have to deal with these enemies, but every enemy approaches on from left to right is going to start coming after us. Take a seat, courtesy of Slash. Now, there's no more health items, so we have to... If we take a death, we're going to have to continue, unfortunately. So yeah, you can definitely powerbomb these guys again, obviously, for the hyper powerbomb. Oh yeah, this area is pretty unfair. There is so many enemies that come right at you. The wrestlers in particular are the most dangerous. So anyway, right now we're wiping out all these guys and just trying to get through all of them. Like I said before, playing this on easy is definitely recommended because we would normally have to have more higher health bars to deal with if we were playing on normal or hard difficulties. Ooh yeah! I'm surprised we haven't died yet. That is a miracle. Face! jump over here, pals. Woo, that was an awesome counter. Yeah, let's get rid of these wrestlers. Because I do not want to deal with them. Alright! Hoorah! As they say in the military. Hoorah! Alright, so that takes care of all those guys right there. That is a very difficult area to get past, obviously. Alright, so once these last two enemies are done, position yourself to the left. And then we're going to be moving forward to right here, because we got more wrestlers to deal with. Unfortunately, one of them is going to be loving to do drop kicks on us. So we don't want them filling with us. Yeah, we're going to try to group all these guys together and wipe them all out pretty quickly. So luckily we got pretty lucky there. Yeah, I'm shocked. I don't usually do this well. Normally I'd be taking a continue right now. But anyway, this part has some of those fast area enemies that usually approach us. And unlike the first game, Rush and Beat Ron does allow you to group enemies more better, but you won't be able to do it by chain attacks, unfortunately. Oh, these guys have high grab priority. Yeah, big mistake for you, Leadhead. And for your punishment, you will receive 3 hyper power bombs. And I was supposed to wipe them all out right there. Now, when you get knocked down, you want to make sure you hit the jump button, so that way your character recovers quickly. Otherwise, he will, it'll take him or her a while before they get up. Yeah, normally I don't try to go for throws, but sometimes you will need to use them to protect yourself and rack up your damage. So we got this butch here. Woo! We're actually gonna go fighting Diner with no continues used, but I doubt we're gonna be holding out well against him. All right, so we're gonna probably use the same method that we've been using for fighting most of these bosses here. But we're gonna use this trick here. And we're going to make Diner position himself right there. So basically what you want to do is go to the upper planes, and basically he won't follow you there, so you're safe from being attacked. And then we're going to keep doing this. We're on the second health bar. Unfortunately, Diner has 3 health bars that we have to deplete. Once we get into his final health bar, this is when things get crazy. Ooh, I was afraid that flame breath wasn't going to go off. Now, we have to be very fast, so otherwise he'll break out of the grab. Now, he's getting close to being, getting rid of his 3 section staff here. Whoa, he broke out of that. And hopefully I can trap him in this. Yes, we did it! No continuous use! Oh yeah! Alright, 3805. That's a first. I can't believe it. Despite a bad first start of stage 3, we actually made it through without continuing. It is unreal. I did not expect that at all. Oh man, I cannot believe what just happened there. feel free to clip that victory. So basically, we just found the strat we need to defeat Diner once he goes into his final phase. But the real trick is getting that jump attack to land. Yeah, actually. Now, yeah, we can skip this ending because all Dyer does is just talks nonsense. Hang on 1 second. But yeah, we don't have to really listen to Mr. Dyer ramble about his defeat and all that. You can just skip it just by hitting any other button. But anyway, that's Slash Easy Any percent. And this is probably the first time I've actually done it without doing a continue. I had 0 lives going into most of Stage 3, and yet somehow I managed to get through all that without having to continue at all. So in other words, we now have a strat for Slash to use against Lord J. And if we can find strats for all the other characters, that'll make that fight a lot more easier.